Hi children, good morning. Welcome back to our session. What is our topic is going on children? It is light, shadows and reflections. So, have you watched the videos? Very good. So, yesterday's class we have talked about the objects like transparent, opaque, translucent objects. Is it? Yes. So, today let me talk about the shadows. What do you mean by shadow children? When we observe the shadow, so sometimes by looking our shadows, we only will get afraid. Is it? Yes. When at night times, suddenly when the power goes, we will say, we will shout. Is it? Because we are afraid. At that time, if anybody comes, enters, give the enter means, still we are scared about it. Is it? Yes. So, we can see the different types of shadows when we are walking on the roads. So, morning time when you are coming to the school, your shadow you can observe. Afternoon times it will be down of your legs. While doing the prayer also we can see the shadows of ourselves. And while moving to the home evening times also we can see the shadows. And at the night time, if the power goes and if you keep the candle, in the candle, if you make different things by your using of the hand, we can see on the opposite side, any side of the walls, like different shapes, like a dog or an animal, or our shadow only it will be big like a, it seems like a biggest one like a devil, is it? Yes. So, actually, what exactly are shadows? So, how these shadows will come? Why we are telling that these are shadows? What exactly are the shadows? When an object is placed in front of a source of light, it produces a shade or dark area behind it. Now, I am showing for you. See, my shadow I can see here, but it is very light because the bright light is much. So, we cannot see our shadow very clearly. When it is dark and the light source is very less, we can see very clearly. Shadows are formed when light is stopped by an object. So, if a light is coming like this, if you keep it, that means that object should be the opaque object. That means which doesn't passes the light through them. Then only we can see the shadows very clearly. An opaque object stops the light completely. So, an opaque object casts the dark shadow behind it. That's why I told that object should be the opaque. So, if it is transparent, we cannot see. If it is transparent, also we cannot see clearly. So, the object should be particularly opaque. Then only we can see the dark shadow very clear. Then, a shadow is a space where light from a light source is blocked by an opaque object. So, I can show the different types of the shadows which we are making with our hand. Wonderful. You also can do it children. Okay. And next, let me see a small video regarding this. Let me come back. Okay. Watch.
Remember the concepts we studied in the previous lesson? First, we understood that opaque objects do not allow light to pass through them. Second, transparent objects allow light to pass through them and we can see through them clearly. And third, translucent objects allow light to pass through them partially. Now I want you to answer this question. What kind of an object is a human body? Are we able to see through it? Not really. Hence, a human body is an opaque object. What happens when light is obstructed by the human body? We see that the human body is obstructing light here. There is light in front of the human body, but what do you see behind it? Yes, a shadow. This thing you see behind the body is called a shadow. Now looking at this, can you tell me the things that are required for a shadow to be formed? Two things are obvious. First, a source of light which is in front of the body, and second, an opaque object. Here, the human body is the opaque object. Can you identify any other thing we may need for a shadow? Maybe not. Now let's consider a different situation. In this situation too, we have a source of light as well as an opaque body. But do we see a shadow? No, we don't. Do you know why? Perplexed? Well, had there been a screen behind the opaque object, you would have seen the shadow on it. But because there is no screen or surface like in the previous case, we cannot see the shadow. What does this tell us? It tells us that we also need a surface on which a shadow can be formed. That surface will make us see the shadow. What's so special about shadows? Shadows also give us some information about the object. So if I show you this shadow, you will be able to tell me that it's a human body's shadow. But sometimes they can also be misleading. For instance, can you name the body of which this is a shadow? You'd probably say it's that of a dog, but it's just our human hands playing the trick. Has it ever occurred to you as to why shadows are formed? We know one of the reasons. Opaque bodies do not allow light to pass through them. Yes, that's one of the main reasons why shadows are
Morning. You are on your way to the market to buy some milk. The sun is shining bright on your face. You see your shadow on the ground behind you. The same day in the evening, you are out in the park playing football. The sun's rays fall on your back. You see your shadow on the ground in front of you. After a while, the sun sets. There are no more shadows. You are confused. You want to understand when shadows are formed. You're also curious to know the direction in which shadows are formed. Shadows are formed when an opaque object is placed across the path of light. Shadows can be seen only on a screen. The ground, walls of a room, building, and other such surfaces act as screens for shadows. Shadows are always formed in the direction opposite to the source of light. In the morning, since you were facing the sun, the shadow was behind you. In the evening, the sun was behind you, causing the shadow to be formed in front of you. When the sun sets, there was no.
Have you watched the video, children? I think now you have understood how the shadows are formed. So today, by this, let me end up the session. Tomorrow, with a new topic, let me meet here. Okay? Thank you.